Now, here's where a controversy has come in. There was a story, and I covered this, I think 2 months ago. Not sure. By that, I mean it's in my newsletter from about July. I believe it's in July. Um, and the details are that there was a shortage of capital in the new development bank because partly due to the Ukraine war, the distraction by Russia to supply weaponry in the Ukraine war, the distraction where Persia is supplying drone, what do you call it? Drone weapons, just generally drone weapons purchased by Russia. And then all the different controversial actions by China with respect to the West. And then all the different internal problems in China with respect to their banks and Evergrande. The result was that in the last several months, there's not been much capital infusion into the Brics Development Bank. Okay, now that has to be addressed in the form of, like Russia will announce that they're going to put in $10 billion worth of gold. China will announce that they will match the $10 billion worth of gold. Persia the same, because Persia is not one of the original 5 members, but Persia is a kind of a ringleader, and I have a name for them. I call them the ombudsman. Persia is the ombudsman, which means they go out like an ambassador. The ombudsman or the ambassador, they go out and meet with the Argentine officials toward qualifying in membership application. And before you know it, Persia is going to visit Tokyo, Japan, and it's going to cause a lot of problems for the West, in particular the American fascist pigs who are running. I don't wish to show any respect. The Biden show is run by fascist pigs. Okay, so that's the Brics Development Bank. And when they call it a currency, well, that's fine in a general sense, but if you want to get technical, it's a banknote.
Right. And so is that why
Okay?
they're dumping so much treasuries then? They're
Yeah,
dumping
they're
treasuries in
dumping
purchase to
treasuries
gold.
to buy gold.
And what do they convert that into? Notes.
So, okay, you were saying this before, and I jumped to a conclusion that what you were calling a sovereign government bond, I was thinking maybe that's a gold trade note. And we are of like mind. So
yeah,
when
we're
I talk,
speculating. We're speculating because, like you said, it's so hard to decipher where the information is coming from who are the sources. So we're trying to piecemeal this together.
right.
And this is definitely a psyops,
But when you said sovereign government bond, you mentioned with a gold backing.
Yep.
Now you can describe it in any way you want, but if you hit all the main points, it's to be used for trade.
Right.
It is a bank note, and it's a gold backing, gold trade note. Okay, those are the 3 pieces. And they could call it a sovereign government bond if they want, but I've been calling it a gold trade note now for about 6 or 7 years. And now it appears to be arriving. And this is very exciting, but it is also a death knell for the dollar, because in order to supply this development bank, and it's not, let me make a distinction. The development bank is the import, export, and construction fund. Apart from that, there's going to be the gold token for trade payment between 2 countries. 2 countries have a net settlement for trade with the gold trade note. They're going to need gold on deposit in order to buy the gold utility token. And those are very special words. Gold utility token.
Plus, you need
And that is the BRICS gold token. Now, you cannot mess with that. What the West is hoping for, I'm going to think like the criminal now. What the West is hoping for, the bankers, is that the BRICS announce a currency with a bond, and it can be attacked. But if it's a gold trade note called the sovereign bond, if it is a new Brics Development Bank note, they cannot mess with it. Okay? There is not going to be a debt-based currency. And that is the key. No debt-based currency. So they're not going to, the West and the banker thugs, the banker Nazis, are not going to have a BRICS gold currency with a bond that's got debt to it. It's going to be a depository with gold asset behind it. It's going to be a gold trade note. Call it whatever you want. I call it a gold trade note. It looks like it is arriving, and I can call it what I want to call it. They can call it what they want, and eventually we're going to realize it's the same thing.
Yep. The label doesn't matter. It's the functionality, right?
Right. It's just a name. Nomenclature is just semantics. I care about function, and it looks like it's a gold depository that's required. Okay, let's just say two countries. Let's say it's Kazakhstan, and they want to trade with Russia, and they want to do the gold trade. I'm sorry, they want to do the BRICS gold token. Well, Kazakhstan has got to have the gold. They put it in a depository. They form by purchasing, and we don't know this mechanism yet. They form the mechanism and use the mechanism to get the BRICS gold tokens, and they pay Russia in BRICS gold tokens. But they can't do it unless Kazakhstan builds their gold depository. Every nation is going to need a gold depository. This is going to be exciting because the crisis that it causes will be a page in history that we are living in, and we have the opportunity to observe, and there's going to be a lot of crosswinds. It's going to knock a lot of people we know off balance. It's going to kill some people we know. But the dumping will be of treasury bonds.